All right, hello. Welcome to another episode of Being a Coach. I'm your host, Jeremiah Hicks.
And I'm Orlando Carrillo.
All right, so on this episode, we want to talk about playing time. So when it comes to playing time, this is a topic that, some parents have and also players. So us as coaches on multiple levels, multiple sports, we're going to discuss, about playing time. So Coach Carrillo, what do you think, or what would you say should guarantee or could help a person get more playing time?
Man, I don't like to use the word guarantee, that's for sure. But to get more playing time, it's those guys that show up to practice early, because you got a lot of guys that show up to practice. They say practice at 10 o'clock, and they show up at 10 o'clock. But you got those that show up at 9:15 and they're ready to go, and they're already shooting prior to the practice. They're already getting warmed up for practice. So I think that those that show up early, that stay late, again, practice finishes at 12. Everybody walks out the gym as soon as they say, you break it out, versus grabbing a basketball and being like, I gotta work, still gotta stay here, I gotta shoot free throws, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. It's just, you reward for doing more than what is asked, right. The bare minimum.
Right. And even to piggyback on that, like something that I think that you and I both consider is not only the little small things, how you mentioned about being on time. So recently we had a conversation with our players about like, hey, we say practice from this time to this time. That doesn't mean like, okay, you show up at exactly that time. That means like you want to show coaches that I'm gonna show up early. I want to give up extra shots, or I want to do extra fundamentals before team activities, showing us that you're doing things outside of being in the gym or being on the field when it's your time. Like a lot of times, and I even saw another coach speak about like 21. Like kids don't play 21, where 21 can challenge you and do a lot more things than what a team setting is. Like even if a kid comes up to us and be like, hey coach, I played 21 this time. Like you working on every aspect of your game,
yeah.
But it's like ISO, double team, triple team, like crunch time. These are all things that you're working on.
Rebounding.
Rebound in one little game. Like you also, and to take it even further, like think about game management. Like we tell our players all the time, like we're just coaches to help you see certain things that you don't see right then. But now, actually, as coaches, we're not supposed to coach. We're not playing the game. It's up to the players. But also when it comes to playing time, and what I feel as though players need to realize, because we're brutally honest to our players about every little thing. Like, hey, this is your weakness. Like, this is your strength. And it's not to discourage you, but it's also to motivate you. Like, okay, if coach sees this, like I know this of myself, I want to work on it more. So whether it's going to the coach, like, hey coach, what do you think if I do this drill on my own time, or even just showing the coaches like, hey, okay, our players follow us on social media, and sometimes we follow some of them back. Like we can see it on social media, like, hey, are you actually doing a drill or something to help improve your game? Are you only coming to the gym, or are you only coming to the field and that's your only time whatsoever? What are you doing when we're not around? And even parents can see that as well.
Or even going back to social media, you got players that take their cameras, take their phones, and all they're doing is recording themselves dunking the ball or making a three. And is that really working? Are you there working to get better, or are you there to get followers? Are you there to so that way people can see you? Or like you said, we follow a bunch of our athletes, like, oh, they're in the gym. But then again, it's like, what are we doing? What are you doing during that time? Are you getting better, or are you just doing it just to do it?
Right. And even think about that. Next question. Do you think parents should ask about playing time?
I really think that players should ask for playing time.
Right.
I think the players need to communicate. I think for us, even going back, we coach, like I said, at all different levels, but our middle school kids, we told the parents, I don't want you messaging me that they're not going to be at practice. I don't want you to message me that they're sick. I don't want you to message me that they're going to be late. I want the athlete to message me. I want them to start getting used to them having to do what's going to be required of them in the real world. Like, Hey, coach, I'm not going to be there. I'm sick. Hey, coach, I'm going to be late because I have this. A lot of times we don't complain and say, oh, you can't do that, you can't do this. For the most part, at this level, right? We middle school level, we're like, okay, we get you. Your parents make the appointments, or sometimes you can only get into those appointments at a certain time. We get it. But the communication between the athlete and the coach is the utmost importance versus the parent contacting me and telling me that their child can't do something, and then vice versa with practice. I mean, we're playing time. Like, I really don't like a parent coming up to me and saying, "Coach, why isn't my child playing?" Or why? Don't get me wrong. I think it's okay for the parent to ask, but I prefer that the student or the athlete come up to you and say, "Coach, can we talk? Can we talk? Can we have that brutally honest conversation with each other about it? And can we work through it? And can he understand or she understand what I'm saying to them and why they're not playing?" So I think that it should become between the athlete and the coach.
All right. And that's something that I totally agree with you on. I think about a situation that I was even in before. So I was in another district, had a tournament, and it was going against our rival again. We already beat the rival, what was it, like early on in the season. So like to go undefeated versus rival, it's really like, hey, like let's keep everything going. So had a situation here, and I always tell, and you hear me tell parents, like I would never put your child in a situation where they can't be successful.
Yeah.
And the success doesn't mean like, okay, I normally already know that they're going to do this and do that. It's like, okay, I've seen them battle adversity. I'm with them every day at practice. You're not. And let's be realistic. Some parents do not want to tell their son or daughter, their athletes, like, hey, you're not good at something. Like, it's okay to tell them that they're not good at something, but encourage them to wanting to get back to where they are good and they are comfortable. So in this tournament, it's a close game. And we win this game and we'll play the championship game next. Well, I didn't play this certain player because I knew game management. I knew what was going to happen. I knew that if I put that player in that situation and they made a mistake, that could possibly discourage that player altogether forever and cause their teammates to react to them, in a negative way right then, and you lose control of your team. And parents don't know that. Like, these are all things that us as coaches that we have to try to manage. So we end up winning the game. We're going to play the championship. Like, we have bragging rights. Like, our rival school did not beat us at all that year. That was the last game that we would have faced them. But yet, parent was upset. Mom came on the court. She was like, well, if he wasn't going to play, like, we could have did something else today. It was on Saturday. And she was like, I'm taking him. I was like, look, by all means, like, if that's how you feel, go ahead. But I need my jersey back right now. Like, and it's not me being just an asshole, but like, that's true. Like, I needed my jersey back right then. So she left, and he wasn't the only player who didn't play, but I'm like, I'm not going to discourage a kid who's not ready for the lights right then. In the very next game, like, man, it was a comfortable game. Like, everybody played. Like, dude, I even called timeouts and let my players draw up plays for each other. And it was rewarding. I even have pictures of certain players drawing up plays for those who don't play as much. So if she would have stayed for another game, she would have saw her child play and saw the actual success. And even the child came to me that Monday morning and apologized to me about their parent. And that goes back to what you say, what you were saying about it's better for the player to come and talk about playing time because he understood what was happening. And that's just from my relationship with him. But parents are not always around. Parents are not always at every single practice. Like, whether it's indoors or outdoors, parents stay in the vehicle, on the phone all day. They stay on social media as much as
we do.
Yeah. So
they do. Yeah.
As a kid. So it's like, please be mindful of what these coaches are going through and what their hidden agenda is for your child. Now, I'm not saying every single coach are like us. Some coaches are buttholes. Like, okay, cool. If a parent go talk to a coach and coach could be thinking, okay, I'm going to play such and such tonight already, but if you come at the wrong time or in the wrong tone of voice, those coaches will hold grudges.
Yeah.
So that's just something that came to mind as you was discussing that.
No, and I agree with that. Like, I think that's the biggest issue with that is like a lot of times there are coaches that take it to a whole other extreme. Like, you question me, so now I'm just not going to play your child. But then again, parents are not in the locker room when we have those discussions because we know where our opponent is. Mm-hmm. And we know if it's going to be one of those games where it's going to be back and forth. And, in order to win, we're going to have to be at our best. Or those opponents that might be a little bit easier where everybody else can get some play time and everybody's kind of rooting for each other at that time to play more. Or, hey, coach, can so-and-so play a little bit more? Or can we find a shot for him? Those are the conversations that parents don't know we have in the locker room. Again, a lot of times, not to bash anybody, but it's just like they think we just wake up and we're just like,
I'm a coach.
We're going to coach today. Today, I'm going to put something on. I'm going to get on the sidelines and decide to coach a basketball game because I decided to do that today. And it's not the way it works.
It's really not, because like even piggyback off that, like thinking about, okay, so recently we was in a tournament and we had for the city championship and we had a close game and we ended up finishing. Like for me, that there was a proud moment, like almost like a dad, because it's like at practice we show up to practice, okay, we don't know what situations we're going to be in. We don't know. Every single day is different. We don't know if a player's going to be sick. We don't know, like, if a player's going to be suspended, that's out of our control. A principal could pull somebody have a family emergency. So we approach practice like, okay, let's practice situations. So we've done situations of where we're down by so many points. We've done situations where we're up by so many points to teach our players like, hey, you have to look at the clock, look at the score, look at the fouls, and game manage yourselves. We're going to tell you certain things, but let's be honest, like teenagers, young adults, like they have a mind of their own sometimes. But to see in that game, that moment, okay, we had the lead. We lost the lead, but it was briefly. Got it right back. And we held on, and it wasn't really as stressful, and it was a proud moment for us as coaches to actually see how they grew up within the past year, because we learn from our mistakes. That's why we implement and approach games or practice a certain kind of way, like, our pregame speech. Like, you have to, what people don't understand about coaches is you have to manage multiple personalities. You have to manage your own personality. Be level-headed and level-minded yourself. Trying to do the same mentally and emotionally for, kids. You never know who your opponent is and, how their reaction toward your team reaction may be, how the other coach's reaction may be towards you or your team, how the referees may have a hidden agenda. Well, because it's a lot. Parents, you have grandparents, you have aunts and uncles, like especially those who haven't been to many games, and this is the one game that they show up to, and it could just unfortunately be the one game where, okay, such and such isn't playing, but it goes back to like playing time, like the factor of completing homework, failing a class, getting written up, ISS, OCI, many different factors leading up to a game that I feel as though like parents and everyone else don't consider. And even a lot of times the players already know, okay, I didn't play this game. I'm not going to play because I've missed practice. I've been late to practice. I've been acting the fool within the school. Like, there's many different things, and we couldn't even make a list because it's like a fairy tale. It's almost like a unicorn. Different situations pop up every single day.
Man, game day is the most stressful part of the week.
It is.
Because there is just, you never know what's going to happen. You never know. You're always in pins and needles on game day. Because when you least expect it, something's going to happen.
Right.
And you got to be able to pivot and change and get everything going to continue to have the success that you want.
Right. And what I love about, you and I and our partnership as coaches is how we both approach game day like to help the other person, because we both understand the stress that comes along. Like, from feeding the players, make sure that they're fed, that they're hydrated, managing allergies and all of this other stuff. Like, it's a whole lot to go into, and that's why, our last episode was like, parents, like, be parents. Like, just support your student athletes, support
Yeah.
all student athletes, because at the end of the day, we are a family and we are one community. And when it comes to playing time, like, it's so many factors that happen. As you mentioned, like game day, we can't. I wouldn't even call it a game plan. I call it options.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have options.
Options. Yeah.
All right, so that would be it for today's episode. As we discussed, it's about playing time. It doesn't solely rely on the coaches. It's upon you, the student athletes, and also the parents of motivating your student athletes. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. And once again, this has been being a coach. Have a good day.